I have a quick story that I'd like to share with you all on this video, and basically it's a story that really helps you understand how to grow Instagram followers organically. What's up guys, Nick Rapcliffe here. I'm up kind of on the roof. It's kind of a gloomy day here in Scottsdale, but I'm just gonna kind of jump into it. This probably is gonna be a little bit shorter of a video. So a lot of people have this idea of they want to grow organically, and I certainly get that to a degree. And up until even recently, I didn't even necessarily believe in like organic, okay? But let's talk about this because there's always a strategy behind things. And I heard this story recently. I was actually listening to a podcast and had a very profound effect on me. It's by this guy named Charlie, and he was talking about how he had this childhood dream about becoming a Nike sponsored athlete. Yet he got to a point in his life where he was 300 pounds. 300 pounds, and he actually had a brain tumor as well, which is crazy. So he's 300 pounds and he has a brain tumor and he wants to be a Nike sponsored athlete. And everyone's kind of talking to him like, dude, Charlie, you're crazy. Like, how do you think you could become a Nike sponsored athlete being 300 pounds? But he wanted to do it. He just decided he was going to do it. And so he lost all this weight. He just like got in the best shape of his life, rid himself of this brain tumor, and he kind of got the realization, like, I have a really inspiring story, because he used to be a manager for some of the biggest rap artists in the game, like 2 Chainz and Travis Porter and a few others. So he made this shift. He was very successful, and then he made this shift because he was overweight, didn't have any happiness in his life, and then he decided he wanted to be a Nike sponsored athlete. And so he has this pretty incredible story. It's actually a very, very inspiring story. And so he wanted to make a video about it, and he wanted to, make a very well-produced video so that Nike could eventually see it, and then they can they would find him and then be inspired and then want to sponsor him and all that kind of stuff. So he made this video. That's actually a crazy story in itself, where he found this camera guy that just like randomly kind of walked into his house with his friend, and then all of a sudden, like, that was the guy that was going to help him make this video, and they made this really sick video. It's actually a really cool, inspirational video. But the problem is that they didn't have many Instagram followers. They were going to launch this, but they just didn't have too many people. And I think he had like 10,000 followers, 15, maybe 20,000 followers, and he wanted to get in touch with Nike. So like that, relatively speaking, that's not many followers. So obviously he needed to grow his account, and basically that's exactly what happened. And so I was listening to this interview, and it kind of took me by surprise, because I'm always a person that always has a strategy behind things. I always do things in systematic fashion because I know that's going to produce better results. And so they were interviewing him on this podcast, and then eventually got this out. They launched it, and then all of a sudden 3 days later, Nike called him and said, hey, we want you to come in. You got us all in a frenzy. They sponsored him, and it actually inspired them to change the direction of their company, because they felt like they had just started becoming all about the numbers. And so hearing all this, I'm like, okay, well, how the heck did you get so much exposure? How many? Like, you didn't have that many Instagram followers back then. You had like 10, 15, maybe 20,000. And now he's got hundreds of thousands. So how the heck how the heck was he able to do that? And he shared this, and the guy interviewing him in the podcast was like, did you have a growth strategy? Did you have like kind of exposure strategy, or whatever it is? Like, what was it? And he said, yeah, I had a strategy. Touch the hearts of people. When you touch the hearts of people, you break the algorithm. So many people are talking about the algorithm these days and how engagement's down, and that's the case to a certain degree. It really is. I've experienced that. A lot of my students, clients, friends have experienced a lot less engagement on their profiles. And you kind of look at it and you're like, okay, well, we could say, oh, well, that's unfortunate and that, but like, there's still people on the platform. There's so many people on the platform. There's people sharing stuff, and they see an inspirational story, they're going to share it. So my thought about that is, always comes down to content, and really what's your messaging behind your content? What's the emotion that you're invoking out of people within your content? And that's why there's a structure that I use a lot of time. I don't use it always, but it's kind of a 3-step structure where it says it's the know, have, feel. So when I make my videos, sometimes I say, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to do so and so. Like for example, this video, I'd be like, so by the end of this video, you will know how to gain Instagram followers organically. And then the second part is have. So you will have a strategy that you can deploy that will gain you Instagram followers. And then at the end, you will finally feel like you have a systematic strategy to start gaining consistent organic followers. So it's a know, have, feel. And the most important part of that whole structure is the feel part. People are emotional creatures. We are so emotional. And if you can evoke emotion, if you can touch the hearts of people, you're going to inspire people to take action. You're going to inspire them to jump on your journey. You're going to inspire them to share your story. So the message that I want to get out into this video is that, it ultimately comes down to content, but what is the content that you're producing, and what's the feeling that you're helping people feel from your content? If you're making something super inspirational, maybe that's what it is. If you're making something funny that's gets people laughing and enjoying themselves, like what's the emotion? And I would encourage you, anytime you're going to make a new video or any type of content on your Instagram or really any type of social media, is that before you even start, before you even decide on like what type of content you're going to make, decide on what you want the people to feel that are watching your video and looking at your content. What do they want to feel? Do they want to feel inspired? Do they want to feel motivated? Do they want to feel happy? Do they want to feel joyous? Do they want to feel emotional? Do they want to feel sad? I mean, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter, but you got to get them to feel something. And the people that are the best at making people feel are the people that succeed, the people that have influence, that have exposure, that get lots of Instagram followers. I mean, the reality is that people that have big followings, they help people feel some type of emotion. I mean, hot girls on Instagram, they blow up quickly because they make guys feel a certain emotion. Inspirational people like Charlie, they make people feel inspired and motivated. So like, what is the emotion that you're trying to draw out of people and really give them? Because that's ultimately what it comes down to. Yes, you need your messaging. Yes, you need your content. Yes, you need some cool color grading and making pictures and videos pop and stuff like that. But what are you making people feel? That is the most important part. And if you can constantly put out quality content that is making people feel something, you're gonna win, okay? But you also gotta stay consistent with it. Always gotta stay consistent with it. Charlie was talking about this as well. There's a magical number at 62, okay? And that gives you a lot of power. 62, he was talking about the albums that they put out with some of his artists, and he said it was always around 62 when things just started popping, whether that's Travis Porter or 2 Chainz or whatever. And then he was talking about how he's running these marathons, and the 62nd one is when it really popped. And other artists, 60s, and if you're a content creator, think about that same thing. You gotta create 62 high quality pieces of content that emotionally drive people before it's really gonna pop. If you really wanna pop on Instagram, you wanna have hundreds of thousands of followers, you gotta help people feel an emotion, but you also gotta stay consistent and use the power of 62. If you can produce 62 powerful pieces of content consistently, you're gonna win. Okay, guys, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Share this with some friends to get this out to more people, okay? More people need to feel more emotions and experience the joys of life, and we gotta help them as content creators. So thanks for watching the video, guys. Appreciate you, and we'll talk on the next video.
Tonight, I'd love